Hey, so I want to talk about your IVF doctor being proactive as opposed to reactive. So the first IVF doctor I ever encountered, this was like over 10 years ago, I was going to try and freeze my eggs. And instead of doing the AMH testing first or the FSH testing first, because they go and they scan your ovaries, I didn't really have anything happening. I think I had one follicle and one ovary and the other one was nothing. And he still went ahead and put me on the meds, so I'm injecting myself and nothing's happening and nothing happened. And we ended up like aborting mission, like we didn't finish that egg freezing cycle because there was really like nothing to harvest. And so then after that, we did the AMH and FSH testing, which my numbers were like super low. That was when I got diminished ovarian reserve diagnosis, which that should have been first, right? So again, this was over 10 years ago, but when you go to interview with docs, like that's one of the first things you want to find out before you start trying to borrow money and whatever it is you're doing to try to pay for your egg freezing. The second thing was, then I was like, okay, fine, you know what, let me just try to do an IUI. And he was like, no, well, you need to have a myomectomy first. Now, I know a lot of women who get pregnant with fibroids. I had fibroids. They ended up being very large at the end of that, like 10 years, and I ended up having to have a myomectomy, not an open myomectomy like this doctor wanted to do to me when I was 40. When I was like almost 50, I had a laparoscopic one with the Da Vinci robot, and it was very successful. So like that doctor probably was not the right person to do a myomectomy on me anyway. I couldn't do it because I couldn't afford to take off like 6 weeks from work to recover from that C-section cut to take the fibroids out. But again, like proactively, you know, these are things that should be discussed, you know, because I'm sitting here thinking I can go and just have an IUI, which I mean, I, you know, probably could have done something with somebody else or figured something else out, but I was, you know, trying to do it with this particular doctor. And they're very concerned about their percentages and rates of success. Like, because some people, you know, obviously choose a doctor based on that. And that's going to be on the protocols that the doctor is using for the most part. So he, you know, didn't want to do it. And I just stopped working with that doctor. And I didn't, you know, work with another IVF doctor until I moved cross state. But definitely you want to be like proactively asking these folks questions and making sure that like your idea of things and their idea of things sync up. Obviously they have more information than us, but they should be explaining all of this to you so you can, you know, figure out like if that's going to work for you. So all these types of questions are in my book, Fully My Fertility, Expecting at 50, How I Had a Baby in Midlife and You Can Too. You can find that book on Amazon. If you have Amazon Kindle, you can essentially read it for free. But there's a huge resource section in the back about all the questions you want to be asking your IVF doctor, your MFM doctor, your OBGYN doctor, your doula, the supplements I took. I mean, the resource section is vast, and it allows you to look up your particular folks and get reviews on them real time. So anyway, I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.